Welcome, horror fam, to HHN 365, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. My name is Jess, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Mike Daniels. Welcome to the show, longtime listener, first-time caller.
Yes, first-time caller. Happy to be here. Excited to
Ooh.
join for the first time.
I'm happy you're here. We'll get into a little introduction in a moment, but first, obviously, we have social media. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at HHN365, we have a lovely TikTok where you have seen Mike before at HHN365pod. We have a Discord. The link is in the description. We also have a merch shop, HHN365.com. And if you want to leave a voicemail, I don't know why you would at this point because we have not played them in over a month. I promise you we will eventually. You can leave one at 407-906-4134. And on today's show, we will be going over Originals Week and the final 3 original announcements. We did go over HR Bloodengutz on last week's episode because we recorded that the day it got announced. So if you want to hear that and Stranger Things, go check out last week's after you finish this one. But HHN 365 housekeeping. Mike, how are you? Welcome.
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. It feels surreal to be on the podcast after listening for so many years. So I'm excited to be here.
I love that. And if you don't know who Mike Daniels is, he is the Swiss Army knife of 365 behind the scenes right now. I actually brought him on to help with TikTok originally. And then a month later, Jonathan, decided that he was going to, bow out and go be an adult. We keep bringing Jonathan up at this point.
Every episode, you guys won't let him go. He said, "Can you please let me go? I'm dangling on. You keep hanging on."
I know Duff did it last week. I didn't do it. Now here I am. Wow. We just miss him. That's our buddy. But we still talk to him quite literally every day. But yeah, so when that happened, it was just kind of like, well, Mike's here. And whenever we need somebody, because obviously Duff is not here this week, we're going to call on you. Maybe we'll call on, we got some West Coast friends. But yeah. So I want you to tell the listeners, what is your experience with HHN? When did you start going? What's your story?
Yeah, so my experience with Halloween Horror Nights actually starts before I ever attended the event. I was a theater kid, and I had a friend, her name is Sarah, who was a scare actor. She was in the 7 Scare Zone. That was one of her roles. And
Wow.
yeah, she was the one that's like sloth. So she was like, yeah.
Slow. Oh my God, I didn't get to see that, obviously, but
Me either.
live in the zone.
I was still, living at home, a little high schooler, and my parents are not the biggest fans of spooky things. And so I was not allowed to go and see her perform, and I was so upset. And so, of course, as soon as I had free will and I was back in Florida, I immediately started going to the event. And I've been going ever since 2017, I believe, was my first year. And yeah, exactly. So I have great memories from those first houses, and then became a frequent Fear Pass holder in 2019. That's really when the obsession started. So it took me a little while, but I got there. And yeah, I've loved the event ever since. I was craving it during COVID, like all of us were. And that's actually what led me to HHN 365. I got started in the Discords, and Jonathan, actually, when he joined, I had known him from several Discords and seeing him on there. And I saw that he had joined 365, and I said, well, why don't I listen? So Jonathan is part of the reason why I'm here today, not to keep bringing him up, but it's absolutely the reason why I found this podcast, and I've been listening ever since. So yeah, I love this event. I love the theatrical side of it. So I'm always looking for those little peeks behind the curtain where you can kind of understand how they do these things. And you guys have said it on this podcast before, but I have been championing Nightmare Fuel for HHN 365 for many years in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited to bring some love for the shows to this podcast as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and my experience with 365.
Well, if you guys remember, multiple times, multiple years now, I've apologized on this microphone to you for not seeing Nightmare Fuel. And last year, I stood you up a couple times.
You sure did. She got so far as to say, hey, we're coming. And we were standing outside of Nightmare Fuel. And she said, oops, we actually left the park. Not to out you on 365.
No, out me. It's okay. I outed myself. I kept apologizing on the microphone. I'm like, I'm the worst. I really am. So... But this year, we're going to see the show because you're going to hold a gun to my head and make me go.
Literally, drag you there for the content at very least.
There's going to be a TikTok of me kicking and screaming the whole way. I can see it now.
It's so funny that we're so different about that too, because like you said, we're such twins about HHN. Like we both got engaged at
Right.
HHN. We both have like these similar memories, and yet you run away from the shows like it's arsenic, and I can't understand. But
I am
we're
there
gonna
for
fix it this
haunted
year.
houses, guys. I'm sorry. I am that person. I love that people go for the zones in the shows. I will always be the house girly. And I think that me saying that now is going to be so interesting considering my takes later on some of these announcements.
100%.
But
Can't wait to
yeah,
get into it.
I'm so happy you're here. I'm happy
Thanks.
you're our Swiss Army knife.
Yes, a jack of all trades, if you will. But
Quite a Jack the Clown of all trades.
ooh, I like it.
All right. Well, other housekeeping. Thank you for being here, Mike. But
Thanks
we'll
for
hear
having
more
me.
from you, obviously, in a second. We have a Jack and Oddfellow documentary out there. I'm going to keep reminding people about it. It is on our YouTube long form history lore video. Go check it out. Duff worked really hard on the editing on that, so I want to promote it as much as I can. That is a shameless plug. We also have a brand new YouTube channel, and it is specifically just for short form content. So if you're somebody who doesn't want to download TikTok, but you have YouTube, go ahead and follow HHN24-7. And that is going to have all of our TikToks and also some exclusive content when we get closer to the event. Some behind the scenes stuff, maybe some merch sneak peeks. If Duff doesn't pay
Ooh.
attention too closely, I can sneak that in there. But yeah, so definitely check that out. That's HHN24-7. Let's get into our main segment though. Originals week is here. And before
Finally.
well, don't even get me started. Not even the finally of it all. It's the Tuesday panic of it all.
Yes.
We knew it. Like, guys, they weren't going to give us a Monday. They don't do Monday announcements just for funsies. Like,
Right.
that's Tuesday. They skipped Tuesday last year as well. So
That's what I was going to say. It falls inside of the format of last year, and yet we were all still panicking. And I'm not shitting on y'all. I was panicking a little bit too. I was like, oh, I hope that it's going to post on Wednesday. And then lo and behold, it continued on Wednesday, just like we were all hoping for.
Yeah, it happened. But before we get into that, I want to hear your thoughts on Bloodengutz because I already shared my opinions. How are you feeling?
I am so excited for Bloodengutz. Of course, I have not seen him other than inside of the scary house, but I didn't get to see his original house, unfortunately. So I'm so excited to get to see him kind of in his full glory and really hosting and doing what he is meant to do. And during speculation season, when we saw this on the speculation map, I really thought that this was going to be more in line with like an anniversary house in that, like Welcome to Scary. And because that's the only anniversary house I've ever personally seen. And so that's what I was expecting. And so to hear that this is not really that, but is also kind of that, like where there's going to be original Halloween concepts inside of these 7 films, in addition to callbacks to HHN previous, I am really, really excited to see what that's like. I know that you're probably also excited for this as well. I am also so excited to see what this look ends up being like. They like previewed that it's going to be that combination of like Carrie prison combination with his TV host outfit. So I'm interested to see what that ends up looking like.
Yeah.
And they talked about, how much Halloween is going to be a part of this event. And then, so that immediately makes me think that this is where we're going to see Wicked Growth callbacks and, just all of those like true like Halloween houses that we've gotten that we all love. I feel like they'll be represented somehow in this house. So I don't think I could be more excited for this house, honestly. It exceeded my expectations when I was speculating, which is pretty rare. I like to dream big, and this one exceeded what I was expecting. So I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, we have so much time to talk about our hype list when we get there, but I don't think my top 3 are changing
right
now. I think they're out there. They've been announced. The rest are for funsies. This is not a 34 where I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Right. Yeah, everything. This is like a solid, but that's not a negative because that gives them room to wow me or surprise me. which I don't think I gave 34 a chance to. I think it was just, you are going to be great.
You just came in with expectations and they better meet them.
And that was risky, let's be real. So thank God I'm not doing that with an anniversary year.
Yeah.
Of all things. Oh, could you imagine?
I'm a little bit opposite of you on that. I'm kind of going into this year with like, how am I going to make a hype list? How am I going to like figure this out? Because we'll get into this, but I'm very into some of these original concepts. And so for me to like have to figure out how I'm going to rank these, there's only a few things that are obviously going to be at the bottom. And spoiler alert, that's Fortnite. So, you know, it's going to be a hard year for me. So I feel like we flipped a little bit. You're going in with some unknowns, whereas I'm going in with expectations.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
And a Q video for H&R Blood and Guts. I mean, come on. We haven't gotten a true, like, informative Q video in so long. We're not going to count Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. That doesn't count. So, like, it's going to be really cool to see, like, original content in the Q before you even get into the house.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Somebody pointed out, I don't remember where I saw this or somebody said it to me, that maybe the Q video is literally just, like, projected on the facade or something, and that wasn't as exciting. And I was like, I mean, it is. It's the same thing as Slaughter Cinema. This is the trailers.
Right.
It's the same concept. It's just projected onto a screen. Like, it's okay. I don't mind that for a Q video. Like, it doesn't need to be on a tiny screen for me to be like, yay!
Right. I wouldn't need it either. But also for whoever said that, the good news is right now this is rumored to be in Fast and Furious, so you will probably get some tiny screens if you really need them with captions.
If you really need them. And no AC or ventilation. Ooh. All right, let's get into Wednesday's announcement, which was Madlands Caged Cannibals. And if we're keeping up on speculation, this is actually what became of the zoo rumors. So,
not what I expected from the zoo rumors, to be honest. I mean, just very much more. I didn't go cannibal when I went zoo at all. Yeah. I didn't expect that part of it.
No, because I don't think anybody considered humans in the equation. Or maybe we were all thinking animal-human hybrid. Let me read the description before we get too deep into this. But it reads, in this haunted house, a defunct zoo is now the deadly domain of warring cannibal factions that have taken their animal instincts to extremes. They're territorial, they're hungry, and your lunch.
Chomp.
I hope that there's an aquatic section of this zoo and we can sing Baby Shark.
Ooh, love that.
Okay.
Love a Q activity as we go through.
Actually with all of the original announcements this week, which this might not be the first time, but it's the first time I remember, we got an article for every single original house this year.
Crazy. I mean,
insane.
As they should. It's an anniversary year. They're giving us everything that we have been asking for. So thank you, HHN. Seriously, yes. Thank you.
It feels like they're really driving the originals this year, which they don't always do. Normally we get we used to get one article that dumped all the originals at once in August, guys.
Right.
We are spoiled with Originals Week. This is a newer thing in the last couple of years to expect. And that is insane that we are coming to expect it.
Seriously.
And we're getting articles. But this is a lot. And all the articles are with the different show directors. Well, one is with Laura Sauls, but you know what I mean.
She might as well be a show director. With how involved she is.
She is, you know. So actually Laura Sauls is who did the Cannibal.
She did do that one?
She did do that one.
I didn't realize that she was directing that one this year because I knew that she did Grave of Flesh last year as well. But
no, that was Kelly Malik.
Well, I'm all turned around.
Are you really generalizing the women of HHN on your first episode with me?
No. Don't cancel me on my first episode,
It's
Jess.
Okay. You know what's funny is they're both actually blonde women with very specific glasses, so I will give you a pass on that.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
They can get confused. But Laura, her actual title, it's in the article. She is the resort's Assistant Director of Entertainment Creative Development. So she is more along with Mike Aiello, not a show director.
Right.
So there is a lot in this article. And I really do encourage you guys to go read the individual articles. They're quick reads, but they have a lot of information. So this one, I was gonna skim it, and now I've lost my place.
Mhm.
So stay with me, guys. This one is a memorable spin on the cannibal subgenre of horror. It's a bloody house, and it is one of the bloodiest this year's. The cannibals are coming strongly, they're killing machines, and every person that goes into this house is their prey. And I believe that they specifically say they provide a conga line of prey in the article. I remember that.
Yes, I remember that too, like literally referencing us as their food, basically.
Mm-hmm. Which that just sounds so aggressive.
Intense, right?
Yeah. I'm not to spoil it, but like I think this is my high point for the episode. I'm really excited for this one. But it's a fictional dystopian world where a tribe of cannibals take on the traits of zoo animals when hunting their prey.
I can't wait to see that part. The animal inspired, whether it's costumes or is it going to be like, not like, mutation necessarily, but is it going to be like evolution into these type of animals in some way? Like, how are they going to approach this inspiration that they reference in the article? I'm super excited to see that.
Yeah, and what's interesting to me is that I don't think it's going to be mutation because they say that the only knowledge, because in this world, animals are extinct. This is so far in the future, they say in the article, that humans don't even know what animals actually were like.
Right.
So they're basing everything they know off these tribes that are taking on these traits based off of the zoo setting and the facts on the walls.
Wow.
So what does that look like?
Exactly. Like, and like the little tidbit that you're going to get about an animal that it becomes their whole reality. It's going to be very interesting to see how that fleshes out.
Right, especially in the costuming, because I imagine that the sound uh design is going to be insane in this one.
Oh,
So
absolutely. And they're going to have to like figure out ways to represent the sounds of these animals without them knowing what these animals are, which is also going to be interesting. Is it going to be like like distant references of an elephant noise, but not really an elephant noise, I'm very interested.
mm.
This house is also going to be stinky. Everyone should be prepared for that. I have a feeling that this is going to be the house that houses the most smells because between the animalisticness of it all, but also the cannibalism of it all, like that's just gonna stink.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very bloody just based on that alone. Like anytime that they've kind of tackled that kind of thing, I can't even think of the last time they've done something like cannibalistic at
I mean, you have
HHN.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre as like
Yeah,
a reference, but other than that, I can't think of like an original
I
cannibal
know
content.
Roanoke.
Yes, there you go.
That I think I maybe I'm wrong, but I really do think it's Roanoke as like a whole house,
That's
which
very
was
true.
24. Was that 2014? It feels right. I'm probably wrong. Somebody's gonna yell at me. It was before my time. I'm sorry. um,
Don't look at me. I'm not the historian. I'm the Swiss Army knife.
we all have titles. Duff's HR. I guess I try to be the historian. I really do. And you're the Swiss Army knife. Jonathan would help me with the historian stuff. If I didn't know, Jonathan could confirm it.
Text
So,
him real quick.
oh my god. Um, so I believe the actual show designer for this is this Matt Flood's house.
I think so.
Yeah, I believe that this is Matt Flood, but this idea actually came from a scenic designer. And they brought this idea to the table last April, they say in the article. And it was an idea for just a post apocalyptic zoo infested by a tribe of cannibals. So they take on the traits, and they said that is a home run. And that's how we got Madlands for 35.
I love it. The person that they're referencing also, I believe their name is Cam, if I'm remembering correctly, because I saw
Sounds right.
them on Twitter and they were talking about how this is like a passion project for them. Like they have had this thought for a long time and that they really are excited to execute it. So those are always the best houses, right? Are the ones where they can self-identify that this was a passion for me. I feel like we're in for a real treat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I immediately think of WWE.
Speaking of WWE, I also saw Ramon tweet about this house and say that for him, it gives a lot of the old HHN aggression of it all. And so for me, as someone who has never ever experienced old HHN, really, I mean, truly like the things that they do that were crazy. I'm excited to kind of see that intensity dialed up and see if they really execute on that. I mean, I feel like they always promise that they're going to deliver intensity, but it seems like it's really a through talking point in all of these articles that these houses are going to be intense.
I think that that's also just the nature we're kind of at this point in the event, in a post Insidious, you know.
World, yes. Yeah, the insidious impact, if you will. Yeah.
Because it was scary and a good house. Like, well, depending on where you fall on that. It was not one of my favorites, but I will admit it was actually terrifying for me. So, and like
Yes.
Jason, a lot of people again had the same kind of opinions on that. So or even Terrifier, they promised a lot for that, but it was still such a fun experience that it was like, I get what you were going for. It was
Right.
definitely gory. It was definitely in your face. It was definitely things you tried.
Exactly.
So I love that the originals are getting that too. Because we always have like one, like think of like The Darkest Deal.
Right.
Like everybody talked about that. It came out of nowhere. We all love it. And it was scary on top of being really good.
Exactly. It feels like they are finally giving that high scare treatment to the originals. And I feel like that's something that we have wanted. I mean, if you think of Spirits of the Coven, that wasn't necessarily a very scary house. And now we are swinging the pendulum back to the other side. And that feels really good as an HHN fan.
Oh, yeah. Especially in an anniversary year.
Absolutely.
Because this could have been, and I would not have complained, and I'm not complaining right now, it could have been 5 anniversary houses, more or less sequel, prequel. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we didn't. We only got a sequel house in a whole different direction. Still same format, obviously, but like different direction with Bloodengutz. We have the true anniversary icon house. And the other 3 are new and refreshing. Whether how you feel about it.
And things that they haven't tackled in the last 10 years, probably a lot
Yeah.
of these concepts. So to be getting something so fresh is really exciting. And I keep reminding myself that Wicked Growth came out of an anniversary year.
Mm-hmm.
Puppet Theater came out of an anniversary year, and some of these are all-time houses that come out of these original years or anniversary years as original houses. So I'm super excited to see what this looks like. We've said it so many times, but I can't wait.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I say it all the time. If there is a like, I don't even want to say controversial, but like a genre that I feel like people either love or hate, it's dystopian stuff, and I really love dystopian stuff. So that mixed with the intensity, mixed with the animal aspect of it, and I love that this didn't become the Carrie Zoo or just a zoo. I love that it's just the setting.
Same, 100%.
Yeah.
Same. Because it's important for Carrie to continue to exist in the event, and I
Mhm.
need it to continue to exist in the event, but it doesn't have to be the centerpiece of every single house that it's a part of. Because previously it never was. It was just the setting that they were in. And then we got Welcome to Scary, and it was all about Cary, Ohio. So I kind of like how it's going back to just being a setting that consistently shows up at the event. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. All right. Anything else to say about Madlands before we move on? I don't want to, but you know.
No, I think that we covered this one.
Can we just stay here?
No, see, I'm excited about the next two. I'm gonna be the sunshine to your cloudy day.
I'm not. It's not cloudy. It's just I let's just talk.
Let's just get into it.
Let's talk about Thursday's announcement. Cybergoria. And the description reads: awaken thousands of years in the future in this haunted house and brave a cold world driven by machines with a singular goal: to make you live forever, even if it kills you.
I wish that you all could have seen Jess's face as she said Cybergoria and then gave the biggest eye roll I've ever seen in my entire life.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the girl group challenge on Dragula.
Yes, it absolutely
Specifically,
does.
have you watched Titans 2
Not
yet?
yet. Not yet. But I suddenly have so much more time in my life, so I
Oh my
absolutely
god.
will be catching up on
So
that.
while I'm taking a vacation, I need you to catch up on Dragula so we can talk about it when we get back.
Absolutely.
But one of the first things they do in Titans 2 is they go to like a Burning Man cyber goth punk
I will
rave
love that.
thing. And
Oh my God.
I read the name and like immediately was like Cynthia Doll in in the desert. Like
That sounds iconic. I mean, I think that could also work as a haunted house. I mean, give us Dracula as a haunted house. Give us Dracula as a haunted house.
When somebody asked a question during their podcast recording at their show in April at what House of Blues, they said, "What was your favorite HHN house?" And they went, "What is an HHN?" Sorry, not haunt. And then they answered the question.
So it seems that we know where their loyalties lie if there were to be a Dracula haunt.
It would be at Knott's. They belong at Knott's.
Makes sense.
100%. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
It's not what we're here to talk about.
Oh my God. See, Duff's not here. If he listens to this episode, he's gonna be like, "Really, guys? Really?"
Sorry, HR.
Oops. Well, Cybergoria was our 5th announcement, so that was the halfway point for 35.
Wow.
So, how are you feeling right off the description? Not even the article.
The description alone is intriguing to me. I mean, I grew up, I'm not a Star Trek person. I'm not a Trekkie. I do not self-identify that way, but my father was. And so it was always on in the house. And I would like cling on to like certain episodes. And one of the episodes that I loved was always the Borg cyborg episodes. Like that's just an aesthetic that I take to. I mean, for those of you Trekkies who are listening, my father loved Voyager. It's the only season I know. And like 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan is the actress's name, almost turned me straight. Like I loved that experience. It's just an aesthetic that really speaks to me. So
I didn't know this about you.
Right? I know, dropping the lore on the pod. But
episode 1, man.
So I was very excited just from the concept. And then the article just really turned that right up for me.
Okay.
What about you, Jess?
The name aside, I can actually get over the name. I don't think it's that bad. I'm pretty sure you heard me say it about 20,000 times last year. I just don't love sci-fi.
Right.
I just, and I know Fallout was dystopian, but it was just not for me. I want my dystopian with like a Mad Max, like a little dirty, a little crazy. I don't want robots.
You want Descendants of Destruction.
Yes, I want Seeds of Extinction.
Yes.
I want Descendants of Destruction, and Madlands it feels like it would work in that family.
It does.
It would be at the reunion over there. Cybergoria feels like, and I cannot claim this statement I'm about to make. I definitely saw this on Twitter, but somebody said, "Oh, so we have to reuse the pieces from the whatever suits."
The giant mech suits, yes, from Fallout.
We're gonna see like a foot with a real human leg sticking out over there, an arm over there, a head shoved in. You know what I mean?
They actually just saw off parts of it, and then they put a scare actor into it with like a real arm. She's like swiping out at you.
Oh, so scary. Ooh.
That's so rotten, but it's so true at the same time.
Yeah, so that also kind of just validated my thoughts a little bit. But it's not the thing I'm the least excited for. You know?
Okay.
It's because in the article there were some things that I was excited about.
Good.
For sure. So the director, the show director, and actually the creator of this idea is Matt Flood. So he's the show director for Madlands, but he's not the creator of the idea. That was a scenic artist who is working with him. He is the full conceptual, this is his baby, Cybergoria. So in the article, they talked to him and they introduced the corporation Bioimmortal Bionic Intelligence Systems.
And that's the thing I hate the most about this house, by the way. Like, it's such a mouthful. I'm never going to be able to remember it. Hate
the
it.
BBs. I'm going to call it the BBs. BBs. BIBIS.
There we go.
And they sought to offer its customers immortality. And in that dream of immortality required technological advancements. So Bioimmortal put customers through a cryo-freezing process to preserve them until the tech caught up. Well, they actually offered two different options. They offered the regular option and then a cost-effective option, which was just putting humans in freezer bags until the tech caught up, but it never caught up. So they just kind of had to make do, and that's where the story puts us in.
Do you remember in Chupacabra the freezer deli room that had like the things hanging? So we're getting that, but with poor people. Scary.
Nothing scarier than that, you know.
That's what I thought when I read that article. I was like, a freezer bag room full of poor people, terrifying.
I assume they're gonna just be stacked then, like
yeah,
like not like no dignity, you know, like they're gonna do some things to these bodies, yeah.
Like just thrown in there. And then,
Yeah.
of course, I feel like they are the ones that are going to be more broken down versus like the luxury experience. Like, I feel like those will get the good parts, whereas we'll see these ones be the really gory, like rotting almost, because they maybe like these are the freezers that when they started to like struggle for power stopped getting power first. So they've started like defrosting, like lots of options to like do some compare and contrast there, which I love, because that means that we're not just going to get the same scare actor over and over and over again. We're going to get a lot of character designs, which I'm into. So
yeah, that's actually a good point. I am excited for, I'm always excited for design and costuming and the SFX side of it, but I think that this one, actually, that would probably bump it up for me on hype depending on everything else, you know, that comes out, because this just sounds like it's going to be, I'm going to keep bringing it up, but like how Wyatt's was like the special effects baby last year.
Yeah.
This seems like that, and that excites me.
Absolutely. And they keep saying in all of the articles, too, how they're trying things that they've never done before. You don't hear that a ton in this particular article. You just hear them say that they're going to do it really gory, really, like, amped up. Like, you hear them say that we're really going to dig into this concept and it's going to be gross. So it just seems like they're just going to try to execute this very well, which I'm excited for as well. So it seems like it's going to be a good house.
Yeah. There is a quote I'll read from Matt Flood that I think kind of like shares most of his excitement. So they asked him what this particular house offers the team that they haven't done before. And he said, "This one is so exciting for a couple of reasons. I talked about the facility being really fully integrated and kind of alive. Our team is getting better and better, and the amount of integration of audio, lights, and how the characters are being presented is at a next level. It's extremely exciting to see how we can bring an entire room to life. So everything is structured in a way that heightens the scares exponentially more than we've done in a lot of our stuff. I am speaking in general, but if you walked through our Insidious house a couple years back, it was received as a very scary house, and we're applying the same kind of thinking to this one. It becomes both a very unsettling house from the subject matter, but then also really aggressive and highly integrated."
Let's go! I love that statement. I love it.
Yeah. Big claim, Matt. Big claim, Matthew.
I guess it is. I guess it could be overhype and I could be disappointed. But if they execute on what they are promising in these articles, we are headed for the best HHN we have had in years. And last year was awesome. But they always promise much in the articles. So you have to like dial it back just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think that was there's some other things in here, but I will say they do talk more about like Matt and his role and how creating a house is, which they all kind of like dive into that in the articles, but this one I think has the most about it. So I would definitely read it because it kind of peels back the curtain on, I guess, the show director's mind.
Definitely. Really interesting read. And I love that they had different members of the team be interviewed for each of these articles, because that gives us such a well-rounded perspective of the event as well. Very cool. Definitely should go read.
Yes, I encourage you all. Literally, they're all on different platforms too, but everybody's kind of like taken them and paraphrased at this point. And if you don't want to read the articles, go check out our Instagram. Duff made slideshows. So if you like your content like that, maybe we should make like those Temple Run brain rot videos, you know, where it's like a marble running on the bottom, but we're actually like giving you all the content on the top. Would that be better for you guys? I don't know. Sometimes that's where I'm at. All right. Well, Cybergoria. I'm not trying to shit on it too much before we know more. We haven't even seen inside the houses yet, so I'm trying really hard right now to be positive about sci-fi.
I think it's funny to note before we move on to that this is very different than the speculation that we got this
Yes, thank
season.
you.
It is, totally different than like the BuzzCon makeup idea that we were throwing out. It's totally different than the vanity bomb theory that was going around for
Mhm.
a long time. Totally unexpected, which is nice because we don't get that as often these days.
You know what? I see how this could be mistaken for Vanity Ball.
Really? Expound.
It, what'd you call me? In the way that like I think of the chest heart costume from Vanity Ball specifically. It
Okay,
was kind
yes.
of giving like human cyborg a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like in that way with the extreme body mods. Obviously not like the beauty aspect of the mods, but I think more that specific kind of the modification because that was the one that strayed the most away from
Beauty.
generic beauty standards.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
So I can and maybe I can see where the wires got crossed. I don't know. But it just a thought. But yeah, it's weird that this one really, yeah, it was like out of left field. It was nothing like. Yeah. The DNA strand I also could probably make a justification for at this point too, but yeah.
Yeah. I bet that means that we're going to see a lot more of the experimentation scenes and like the implementation of the cyborg pieces into the human anatomy. Like I have a feeling that we'll see more of that because that's the visuals that they might have thought were like the substance or were like the vanity ball, those moments of modifying the body. So maybe that's a lot of what we're going to see.
That's a good point. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. It's going to be one of the bloodiest, you know. We keep hearing. I don't think they actually said that about that one. I think they said intense. And I close the article at this point, but I do believe that there is a quote where Matt Flood at one point goes like they kind of test the boundaries in this one to see just how far they can go with us and what we're comfortable with as guests. So interesting.
Very exciting.
Scary. Ooh. Speaking of ooh.
Literally.
Today on Friday when we're recording this, that's not when you're listening to it, but we got Invasion, Alien Abduction. Was that better?
Much better. Very proud. Invasion.
What?
Invasion, not invasion. Invasion, but not.
Correct. So the description says, make contact with horrors from worlds unknown in this haunted house, where a ship full of greys have torn apart a remote homestead in search of fresh test subjects. Excuse me. Now, let's just jump right into that. What you just said. The first thing, Charles Gray, who is the show director and I believe the creator of this, this is his baby. He says this is not a sequel to Invasion. This has nothing to do with it.
Very shocking. Not what we were expecting at all. Especially for them to take the name and include it in the title, but to not have it be a sequel on an anniversary year when we're looking for those sequels. I'm not necessarily disappointed. We'll get into it when we hear about like what this house is actually going to be, but I was very surprised that it is not tied to the 2017 Scare Zone in any way, or 2018.
Yeah. I know that people are probably disappointed about that because I know a lot of people wanted Invasion. I like that it is not a sequel prequel.
I think I'm neutral on it. I think that I like the concept that we are getting, so that fixes any disappointment I might be feeling about it not being tied. And I'll let you get into the article before I say exactly why. But yes, there are some reasons in here that Charles Gray specifically said that made me really, really excited for it not to be a sequel.
So they've been talking about this for apparently the last 5 years, which great musical. I don't love that musical. But
And that was 40 minutes into the podcast before we made a musical theater reference. 40 minutes into the podcast before
that's a
musical theater
lie.
came up.
You quite literally introduced yourself as the reason you know about Horror Nights is because of
Uh,
musical theater.
Dang. Well,
So
lies.
you did it first.
Yep.
Ha.
I brought us there.
Jess did it at 40 minutes into the podcast. Which is quite late for me. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes.
So every time they get together as a group, they haven't done it because it can get humorous, it can get kitschy, it can get cheesy, and they've done that before. But in Invasion, they wanted to tell the story of a horrific moment at night when they're coming to take you. And that is frightening. And they talked about it, and finally they came up with the story that encapsulates a home invasion type of horror and fear.
Did you watch a American Horror Story double feature?
No.
Okay. So for those of you at home who have, you know that the second half of that season is it is, spoiler alert, involved with aliens. And so this made me think of that when he said that. There's this scene in that series where there is an alien abduction happening, and just the chaos of that moment, the lights and the slamming of things and the wind and all of that, that is what this makes me think of. And that sounds like a very different experience than what we got in the Scare Zone. And so to hear him say that, and to hear that it's going to be mostly about that abduction moment and being in that moment, at least as they start the house, made me very excited for what this is going to be.
You said that, and I know that's not what you're talking about, but I thought of Asylum. Wasn't that Evan Peters' story too?
Oh, you know what? I might be mixing the stories. I might be thinking of that moment.
Double feature definitely had aliens, because wasn't that the beach and then it was aliens?
Yeah, I think that the aliens were the twist at the end, and I don't think it was the abduction thing. I think you're actually correct. I think I'm thinking of that scene.
Okay, yeah, in Asylum, because that's how he ends up there, is like his wife, and he's hiding her because they're in an interracial marriage and everything.
Yes.
That scene, yes. I just got chills thinking about it. Like that is exciting, and the home invasion like start of it, because that is like a huge fear of, I mean, I think a lot of us, like I definitely have that. So more interesting. I had not fully read the article before, so today was a little chaotic at work, to say the least.
Celine Dion, are you there?
One day I'll tell the story on here. One day. So, in this story, we have the little gray men aliens, which are actually called the Greys, right, in this story, which I think is actually really funny because it's Charles Gray, and I think that is also because this is his baby. But there's different types of these little gray men, the Greys, and as you go through Invasion, you won't see the same character over and over again. There's a diverse group of aliens in this story.
Also very exciting. I mentioned it for Cybergoria, but to hear that we're not just going to get the same character repeated, but to get different forms of aliens is very exciting. And if you like to go into the houses spoiler free, I want to encourage you to tap the 15 seconds ahead button right now. But in the article, he talks about how in one moment you will see the silhouette of the alien, which is very much your typical gray, like alien, what you would expect it to be. And then in the house, you see it from a different lighting perspective, where you see what is actually behind that shadow, and it's like tentacles and things to reach out and grab you, and just not the typical gray blob alien that most people think of. So to hear that they're gonna kind of give you that twist in the house too, that could be very cool to see executed as well.
Oh yeah, I can't stop thinking about I should have expected it, but when I was thinking of like little gray aliens, I wasn't thinking about giant tentacles.
No, not at all.
And the fact that they're brought up so often in this article.
It's going to be a tentacle heavy house. Like, if that's the kind of thing that you're into, boy, do I have a house for you.
I'm glad you said it, because I was about to say, this is going to be interesting.
Yes.
The reception. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Wink, wink.
But they say at the end of these giant tentacles, they have little tiny claws. And that's what
put your claws up, because they were born this way.
This is where this was Gaga.
This was the Gaga rumor.
The tentacle claws became Lady Gaga. Oh my goodness. Happy Pride, guys.
Happy Pride.
My last episode in Pride Month too. So, or the last episode in Pride Month. So, spoiler alert, if you're still listening, I hope you are. This is the last time you'll hear me, I think, for a week. I think this covers 1 week while I'm gone. So I'll be back in 2 weeks from now. So going on a boat. I'm excited. A ship. Sorry.
Taking vacation. Did you get approved by HR?
I don't want to talk about it right now. I think it's rude to talk about somebody who's not here.
That's true.
They cannot defend themselves. And even if they were here, I would mute them and they could not either. So,
speaking of Duff, something that he did say to us in our group text today was that he feels that this house could be very Scarecrow-esque in its design. And I think that kind of came from the quote with Charles Gray, where it's talking about how much there's going to be an unexpected amount of gore and violence and also tightness and different levels of attack. That claustrophobic feeling that you had in Scarecrow maybe could be coming to this house too. So I'm excited to see that. When Duff said that today, it got me very excited for this house as well.
Yeah, I like I think the direct quote is, because it takes place in the Southwest, it's turquoise and cactusy.
Yes.
Which I do like that vibe. And I think that also fits with Scarecrow. Very blue and brown toned, I would say. Like almost the lens you were looking through in Scarecrow, like the lighting felt like cool toned but brown. Like at the same time, I guess is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, substitute some clay colors in there, like those dark red clays. I think it's going to be really pretty.
I can't wait to see the fan art.
Yes, definitely.
For that, because then you have the gray against it with the little grays.
And also funny that this is Charles Gray's house. They're called the Grays and set in the Southwest, which isn't that where his home is? I think he mentions that in the article. So
yeah, I believe so.
This is Charles Gray, the musical, the house.
Boots. Yes. No, it's great. And again, I would really encourage you to read that article as well. I obviously am a big fan of Charles Gray's work. Charles Gray's work. We've said Gray so many times it's not a real word anymore.
I know.
But yeah, he is the father to Graveyard Games. So big fan.
He has quite the legacy. And this is his second house that he is like really excited about, because he was also at the announcement for Jack and Oddfellow. And you should have seen the way that man was swinging his legs while he talked about that house. He is so excited. And to read this article, you hear that same excitement. So it's going to be a good year for Charles Gray.
I'm glad you brought that up, because something that we realized after last week's episode is we said Ramon was the show director for Jack and Oddfellow, and that is not true. It is Charles Gray. And I think that we thought that we were saying Charles Gray, because Duff also loves Charles Gray's work. So I think we love Ramon's work as well. We're not saying that is a negative. Ramon is doing Bloodengutz. That is his original, and that is a perfect choice for him. And I'll keep saying it because he is one of us. He is an HHN fan first and foremost, who has turned show director, and he is. I trust him with the legacy and to honor it 100%.
Absolutely. And if you read that article, I mean, the way that he's talking about it, he is put a lot of love into this house. And his IP is Sinners as well, which is also perfect for him. So another great year for Ramon. These houses are going to be so good. Yeah.
Does Kelly have a house this year?
Not that it's been mentioned. You know who also hasn't been mentioned yet is Dylan Kolaf. I haven't heard him mentioned.
Isn't he doing scenic for Jack and Oddfellow? He does scenic. He's a scenic designer.
Yes.
Yeah. So I believe he's doing Jack and Oddfellow for sure. I assume, if I could guess, out of the 3 that were announced that we're talking about, I think he might be doing Invasion. Or, honestly, I could see him doing any of the 3. But where I think I would like to see him tackle Madlands in the way that, can we see the different enclosures from other areas? Is the zoo like, remember Carnival Graveyard? It was really one of the first houses that you could see other rooms from other areas. And it had a central point, and it was the big generator tower.
Right.
I wonder if like the zoo has a central enclosure. You know, like
that makes sense.
Would love to see Dylan do that. But I could also see him doing a really cool like alien in the Southwest. I don't know. I could just see it.
I know. So many good options this year. And that just goes to show like what a talented team we have in Orlando, that like we are speaking about these names and that are, we're talking about every single person on the team at this point. We are so excited for all of them, and that is a strength that we are very lucky to have in Orlando.
We are. And I'm realizing, as I said, that Madlands is literally the idea of a scenic designer, but I don't know what level of scenic designer that is. So maybe they are the scenic, and I'm excited for that because that's their baby too. Exactly. I'm not trying to diss somebody, guys. I'm really excited for that one.
Speaking of, Jess, I think that I know that you guys save your hype lists and your rankings for those episodes, but of the original 4 that were announced this week, Bloodengutz, Cybergoria.
So you can't even say it. You can't even say it.
And Madlands. Give us the one that you're most excited for. Give us the one that you're least excited for.
I think it actually might be harder than I thought to pick my most excited.
That was actually my personal goal going into this episode, was to make this decision hard for you because they're all such good concepts.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would.
But there are definitely 2 that I'm excited for, and you know what it is that you have my HHN lover brain that's like, you have to pick. You have to pick Lawrence.
Lawrence.
But then, which is Bloodengutz if you don't know. Larry Lawrence. I'm going to call him you know what's funny is I'm on a first name basis with all the icons.
With all of them, right.
Lawrence, Rich, Albert,
Jack. Well, I guess
everybody's on a first name basis with Jack the Clown. He doesn't do last names. Don't call him Jack Schmidt. And I will in the house. I think, and don't take away my card, guys, I think Madlands.
Wow, not what I expected. Okay.
I think, and it's my own, I'm in La La Land like over here, but in my world, this is in the distant family of Seeds and Descendants.
Yes.
And that is like, those are my babies. Like, I don't talk about them enough, but I really, really loved both of those houses. So.
No, I agree with you. In my notes that I have here, I didn't say it, but I love a post-apocalyptic house, and this is totally in the alley of Descendants of Destruction, I think, anyways, when I read that. So I hope that we maybe even see some Descendants Easter eggs in there. Can we see that subway in there? I don't know. That's a dream of mine. The mirror subway. Do you remember that? Yeah. I love that.
We didn't mention it, but Cybergoria, they talk about mirrors.
They did.
A lot. We should have.
And expanding the space to make it larger, which is really good because that facility, when I think like of a cyber facility that's going to be doing what they're doing, it needs to be large scale. So that makes a lot of sense. And they're doing it in the sprung tents, which we know that they have figured out how to make look really, really big.
We don't know.
Sometimes.
It hasn't been confirmed. We don't know any of these actual house
based on the speculation map is what I meant to
Just
say.
A reminder, because we still don't. The only thing that I believe has been confirmed, and that's because the slip up was chaos and control.
That's right. Yeah. Ever since then, they've been trolling us in those blog posts, and so that we can't figure out the location. But
yeah, they think they're smarter than us. But my least excited is Invasion.
Wah wah wah. She hates Charles Gray.
Oh, no, don't say that. Because if you really asked me, Jack and Oddfellow is probably number 1. But you didn't ask for all 5.
I didn't. You're right.
So, I love you, Charles. I'm still waiting on Graveyard Games 2. The games continue. I don't know. Let the games resume.
Graveyard Games 2. Let the games begin. Resume.
Let's press play again. Let's run it back.
Graveyard Games 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh God. What about you?
Great question. I did say it already, but I am definitely most excited for Bloodengutz. It is just peak HHN for me, and it's a peek back into like almost like getting into an HHN time machine in a way, getting to go back. And the first thing that I would do if I got access to a time machine, like forget about like trying to stop world wars, like forget about like world peace. Like I'm going back to HHN.
That's
exactly.
not our business.
Exactly.
Why am I going to involve myself and things that listen, we only asked for an HHN time machine. I did not ask for I'm not asking for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Exactly.
Guys. All love. But I want to go to my silly haunt event.
And I want to go to all years that I didn't experience over and over again.
Am I the age I am now, or would I be the age I was then?
I think I'm going back to the future rules. You are the age that you are now.
Okay, thank you, because I would be negative for some of the years. I think you would be as well. So
yes, absolutely.
We're just so young.
We're just babies.
Well,
least excited though. Least excited is probably going to be. This is hard for me because I really like all 4 of these concepts. I've been saying that.
So positive.
Probably Cybergoria. Just because the article connected with me the least. So, and I'm saying that now, and I feel that typically when I like rank an original lower, I go in with low expectations, and then it becomes one of my favorite of the event. So who knows? I could turn around and love it, but based on hype, that's going to be my lowest.
Okay. Wow, I can't believe we have 7 out of the 10.
No. Only 3 more house announcements to go, then scare zones, experiences, shows. Yeah. We're almost there. You know what I also realized today? We are 9 weeks from HHN today as of recording this. And that means that we are officially closer to the event. Like we have less weeks until the event than we will have the event. The event is 10 weeks long.
Why would you say that?
It's getting so close. It's a good milestone. It's a good milestone. We're getting close to it.
Okay. It was a little scary. I was like, whoa, we're already talking about the end? We haven't even gotten there yet. Let me get on my cruise, man. I can't. Well, so here, we always do this on the show. When is our next announcement and what is it?
Oh, okay. I think we're headed for a little bit of a lull. If I had to guess, we have exactly 4th of July coming up, and then we know that they typically announce an IP with frequent fear passes. So I expect that. Yes, exactly. That's true. But it's not like whenever we get frequent fear pass, I feel like is when we're going to get our next announcement. I feel like those are tied up, and so. Frequent fear typically goes on sale. I think like anywhere from like the 5th or 6th of July all the way through like the 3rd or 4th week of July. So somewhere in there, I'm gonna randomly just pick like the 2nd week of July is what I'm gonna say. We'll get our next announcement on a Thursday.
Okay. Yeah,
whatever day that is.
It's gonna be a Thursday. It's historically been a Thursday. My guess has been the middle to the end specifically of July. I said it could be as early as like this week, but it wasn't gonna happen. But I think that it's gonna be frequent fear, and I think with frequent fear, Hellraiser.
That makes the most sense, right? It's probably, I mean, Evil Dead is a great franchise, but Hellraiser is that legacy. We've been doing horror forever. Evil Dead is too. I don't know. They're very comparable.
My only fear is that Evil Dead comes out the 10th, the 11th, something like that.
That's true. July 10th, yes.
So they could do it pre-opening for the opening week and announce it and do frequent fears. Terrible. I would be on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Please don't do that, Universal.
Please don't.
Please don't do that, Universal. I might panic leave my card information with you and Todd.
Just in case.
Or they wait for like post first weekend, but what if it's not great?
That's the risk that they run, is if the reception is bad, then you're going to have all of that bad press there with your haunted house announcement. So do you get it out first while the movie hasn't come out yet, so people can just get excited? That means that we might see one sooner than expected. Who knows?
Or it's not Evil Dead at all, and that's going to be like later in August when everybody stopped talking about it.
Exactly.
And maybe everybody really liked it, and they're like, hey, remember that movie you liked a month ago? Haunted House. But yeah, what all that's left on the spec map, if that's right, is Ozzy, Hellraiser, and Evil Dead Bird.
Oh, I forgot about Ozzy.
I don't think that'll be tickets.
Yeah.
It's not.
So does that mean that it might be one of the last ones we get? Ozzy? That's interesting.
What if it was Ozzy and Evil Dead together?
Oh, they have done IPs together in recent years as they get
I don't know
closer.
if Hellraiser and Ozzy go together.
No, I
Or
think if they're gonna combine them, it would be
Ozzy and
Evil Dead.
yeah, I agree. So yeah, I guess that our guest is Hellraiser, Frequent Fears, and between next week and the end of July, we'll see you guys for that. But there will be an episode next week with Duff and Mike. So
Woo!
This is I'm signing off for 2 weeks, but check out, the TikTok and everything. We do have all that social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, HHN365. TikTok is at HHN365pod. We have a Discord. The link is in the description. We have merch at HHN365.com, and keep an eye on that in the next month. Exciting things are coming.
Very exciting. You guys are not ready.
And if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can at 407-906-4134. And it's funny we bring that up because you know what I have queued right here? And that's all I'm going to play because I knew you were going to. I wish this was video because the way you ascend it, I've been holding that for an hour and 1 minute.
I almost said at the beginning of the podcast that I made it onto the podcast before my voicemail did.
No, you didn't.
But no, I didn't.
So with that, guys, thank you so much. And we will see you in the streets.